Dear friends, today I'm going to discuss with you the recently proposed major change in direct tax in India, and this is said to be Direct Tax Code DTC 2025. So, Income Tax Act 1961 is going to be scrapped if this direct tax code is implemented. So, for the details information, whatever I have collected from different sources, through my research, I'm going to share with you. So let me go one by one. Yes, what is direct tax code? Point number one, what is DTC 2025? What is direct tax code? Direct tax code is a proposed legislation set to modernize, simplify, and align India's tax system, tax law into a single code by taking into in a new era of efficient and transparent taxation. This Income Tax Act of 1961, dear friends, had a lot of complexities, lot of problems, and has become almost outdated. At the same time, let us remember one particular point that income tax in India first started by the Britishers in 1860, just after their Shippo Mutiny in 1857. So from that point, from 1860, now it is 165 years we have come across, and on 31st of August 2024, is the occasion of 165th year of income tax. Honorable Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman announced that much awaited direct tax code would be soon introduced, a move that aligns with the budget of 2024 declaration to overhaul the Income Tax Act of 1961 within 6 months, Minister said. So why direct tax code of 2025? Exactly why? What's the necessity of bringing this new taxation regime and scrapping Income Tax Act 1961? Here, dear friends, please remember one thing. I've seen several YouTube videos there. It is the tagline is like that, the Direct Income Tax Act khatam ho gaya, Income Tax Act 1961 khatam ho gaya, it is scrapped. Is wrong. Is not a scrap. It is still there. It will continue for quite some time. And director's code is a proposed change only. It has not yet come. In this video, I'll be discussing when it is going to come and what are the characteristics and what are the differences between Direct Tax Code 2025 and existing Income Tax Act of 1961. I'm going to deal with these things one by one. All points I'll be putting in small video. But remember, after you watch this video, don't take it for confirmed that exactly these things are going to be introduced by the government of India, because direct tax code is not new in 2024-25. Actually, it started, the first draft was made in 2009. Direct tax code 2009, TTC 2009. At that time, we learned it, and it was supposed to be introduced in India from 1st of April 2011, but we have seen it is not done. And then you see GST, which came from 1st of September 2027. Even GST was started by then Prime Minister of India, Atal Bihari Vajpayee, in the year 2000, 2000. And it took 17 years for GST to be introduced in India. Similarly, direct tax code, although started in 2009 and supposed to be introduced in 1st of April 2011, it was not done. Now it is again in the form of being introduced. Now, whatever points I have collected from different sources, these points, when it will be actually introduced, there may be some differences between the points which I'm sharing now and which will be actually introduced. So keeping that thing in mind, because whatever point I'll be sharing here, some of these points may be even changed, and whatever time I'm talking about that is going to be introduced in 2025, even the date may change, I don't know, but from as present what the minister, Honorable Minister of Finance, Sitharamanji said that is going to be introduced in 2025. The primary of why it is necessary, the primary purpose is to simplify the tax laws and make them more understandable and easier to comply with. That's the most important thing. It's not that people don't want to pay tax. It's not that all people don't want to pay tax. There are many people who want to pay tax, but the system is so complex so that cannot comply with. So it is necessary that the system should be simple also. So for that purpose, Direct Tax Code 2025 is proposed to be introduced. The government wants to encourage more people to pay taxes by removing the complexities in the existing tax system. So you have understood that there are a lot of complexities in the existing tax system, and Direct Tax Code 2025 is proposed to be introduced to remove all those complexities so that people feel it easy to fill out the forms and pay the taxes, and government's revenue even will be increasing and GDP will go up. So that is the purpose why DTC 2025 is proposed to be introduced. Now, who are going to be impacted? All of you know that DTC is a major change, is a major reform in the taxation system. If you remember, the DTC 2025 will impact everyone when it is introduced. Like now, income tax is having impact on everyone. But we have learned income tax since 1961 is going on with a lot of amendments, new circulars, a new change in the tax rates. Those, but we know the basic points about income tax at 1961. But when it comes to DTC 2025, let us see who are going to be impacted. DTC 2025 will impact everyone, from students, professionals to businesses and individuals, everyone. I'll explain how. It's crucial to stay informed about these changes as they will shape the future taxation system of this country. So it is necessary that we should know about these new changes in the taxation system, because it is going to impact upon the students, professionals, businessmen, entrepreneurs, individuals, and everyone. So let's try to know exactly what is going to come. And as I have already said, that Income Tax Act of 1961, we'll be saying goodbye to this Income Tax Act of 1961. And why goodbye? Income Tax 1961 is outdated, because a lot of things, the world has changed, but Income Tax Act 1961 is same as in 1961. It's a complex one. It is criticized to be complex. There are numerous exemptions and deductions and multiple tax rates. It makes the system altogether complex. This complexity has made compliance difficult for many taxpayers. I have already said that many taxpayers are there who want to pay tax to the government, but they cannot pay because of the complexities in form fill up and on all other things, the formalities of the Income Tax Act of 1961 formalities. The widespread confusion and avoidance. Since there are lots of confusion, so there is avoidance of tax avoidance. It's not that everybody is there to evade tax. There are many people who love the country. They want to contribute to the development welfare of the country by paying the tax, but they cannot pay because it is very complex system. So the new system, when will be new system introduced? That's a point. कब आएगा? TTC 2025 is expected to be introduced in the budget 2025. So next year का budget में आ रहा है, ऐसे expected कर रहा है, सीतारामन जी बोला है तो आएगा ही, and it will be applicable from April 2025. That is financial year 25-26. From 25-26 financial year, it will be applicable in India, and at that time, Income Tax Act 1961 will no longer be in force. So next, let us welcome DTC 2025. DTC 2025 poised to replace Income Tax Act 1961, as I've already said. The first draft of DTC was made in the year 2009. As I've already said, it was put in the parliament, introduced parliament 2010. It has time, but it could not be finalized, it could not be introduced. As I said, that it was supposed to be introduced in India from 1st of April 2011, but it was not done. Why? Because why this delay? Let's know why delay. You know, as I've already said, that even goods and services tax, it took 17 years for being introduced in India. GST took 26 years to be introduced in Sri Lanka, and many other countries, you know, it takes a lot of time to be introduced. Similarly, this DTC is taking so much of time for this reason. And since when introduction of GST was there, when introducing GST, the government faced a lot of criticisms, a lot of discussions were there after, even before and after introduction of GST. So government wanted that immediately after introduction of GST 2017 1st July, DTC should not be introduced because the complexities will be more. So government wanted to wait for 2 years or 3 years like that, and now it is high time the DTC is to be introduced. And regarding GST, people hardly make any negative comments now. People are doing business easily with GST. Whatever criticisms are there, but still it is going on. People have understood, and there's not much of criticism at least. So it is the time when DTC 2025 should be introduced. And some relief for the students, because since I'm a teacher of income tax and accountancy, many students tomorrow after watching this video they will be asking me, sir, हम लोग का एग्जाम में क्या आएगा? Should we learn immediately DTC or should we remember only income tax 1961? So for them I have made this particular slide. Dear friends, dear students, please see, direct tax code will be applicable for exams conducted after April 2026. As per information that I have collected up to now, till now, that DTC will be applicable in exam after April 2026. So till then, have relief and you can study income tax 1961 only, even if next year DTC comes into force. Any exams up to March 2026, student will need to focus on the income tax at 1961 only, and this is a great relief for the students. So students will be happy that they are not immediately compelled to learn DTC 2025, but it is good, it's advisable to get some knowledge about this so that in future they will go into the depth of it. Then let me change and let me show you there are certain changes. What changes, what major changes are coming with the DTC 2025, which were not there in IT Act 1961. So as a comparative study, I made the comparative study between Income Tax Act of 1961 and Direct Tax Code of 2025. If Direct Tax Code 2025 is introduced, then what will be the major changes? So it's good that we concentrate on these major changes. See, I've jotted down here 4 points which are having major changes. Number one, simplified residential status categories. Students have become, and even CA, IPC, they understand how difficult and complex it is to learn residential status, and this is going to be simplified in this. I'll be telling you sometime how. Then removal of previous year and assessment year. Many people confused with previous and assessment year. Many people who are entrepreneurs or small businessmen, they confuse about previous year and assessment year. I'll show you what change is coming in this concept. And inclusion of capital gains tax. Capital gains tax will be treated as a normal income, not like special earlier. And income tax heads, some of the income tax heads will be renamed. So what these are the major points, the major areas of change which DTC 2025 will be bringing over and above income tax in 1961. These are the differences, but I need to explain, otherwise you won't understand. So let's see. Residential status. I told you the first point is residential status. What is changes here and what is the simplicity? Let me check it. So yeah, residential status. Currently, under income tax in 1961, there are three categories of residential status. All of you know, you have learned and you have to remember 180 days and all these things, 60, all these things you have to remember to identify who is a resident and ordinary resident, who is a resident but not ordinary resident, who is non-resident. So three categories of residential status were there in the existing law, I mean existing Act, Income Tax Act 1961. But when this will be scrapped, when DTs will be coming, there will be only two categories, dear friends. It will be very easy to calculate the number of days and whatever it may be. That is resident and non-resident. Very simple. But earlier it was three: resident and ordinary resident, resident but not ordinarily resident, non-resident. Is a lot of complexities here. I have found some difficulties in teaching, explaining to the students. But now in DTC 2025, it will be simplified and there will be only two categories of resident status: resident and non-resident. Very simple. Next change, let me see. Next change is elimination of previous year and assessment year. In the income tax in 1961, previous year and assessment year, these 2 years were there. All of you know, you have to remember that from 1st April 1st April to 31st March next year it's previous year, again from 1st April to 31st March next year assessment year. All this were there. But from DTC 2025, there will be only financial year and no other previous year assessment, nothing. There will be only simple year will be financial year. So it will be simplified. And next change, next one is capital gains taxation. I have already said capital gains might become part of the normal income under direct tax code. It will be now capital gains tax is there are some special points how to calculate all these things. Deductions are there, section 54 and all this, all of you know. But it is going to be very simple calculation at least. I don't know the impact of whether there will be more taxes or less taxes. That will be calculated only after it comes into existence. But now what they are planning, that capital gains tax will be a part of the normal income under DTC. And next change is changes in income heads. Dear students, all of you know, dear friends, all of you know, there are 5 heads of income. 5 heads will remain 5 only, but 2 will be renamed only. 2 will be remained. All of you know there are 5 heads of income, but 2 of the heads of income will be renamed. Like number 1, income from salary will be called as employment income. Please remember, income from salary will be known as employment income under DTC 2025. And one more change, the last heading, income from other sources will be called income from residuary sources. So income from other sources will be renamed as income from residuary sources. Though there is nothing so tough to understand, and there's no complexities, just a name will be changed in the 2 heads of the income, 2 heads out of 5. And let me say the next one. Yes, there's a possibility, surcharge, regarding surcharge, there's a possibility the surcharge might be removed. There won't be any surcharge, but in its place, there will be ultra rich, the new higher tax rate may be introduced. In the place of surcharge, there will be ultra rich, some extra additional charges will be there. The tax, what is a very happy news here for those who are doing or have passed, company secretary and cost and management accountants, those who have passed CS and CMA, for them it's a very good news as a part of their profession, because earlier tax audit was conducted only by chartered accountants earlier, but now tax audit will be conducted by company secretaries and cost and management accountants also. So this is a very great news. This is a professional, revamping or lucrative professional income will be there, more, better for CS and CMA degree holders. Now they can take it, they'll be getting a lot of clients, they'll be earning a lot of fees from tax audit, which earlier they could not do. Only chartered accountants are eligible, but now company secretaries and cost and management accountants will be eligible to conduct tax audit under DTC 2025. So of course, it's a good news for these professionals. The reduction in sections and schedules. In Income Tax Act 61, there are 298 sections and 14 schedules, and in addition, numerous subsections, clauses, sub-clauses were there. So a very complex bundle of rules and sub-clauses and sections in Income Tax Act 1961. But in DTC, it will be, let me see, it will be 319 sections and 22 schedules. Of course, these are increasing, but subsections, sub-clauses, clauses will be very much minimized, may not be there in a significant way. Why? because this made Income Tax Act 1961 very complex. So government wants to decrease these complexities so that when there is more sections, more sub-clauses, more complexities, there will be more lawsuits. So if these things are removed in DTC 2025, then there will be less of complexity and less of lawsuits, and make the law more straightforward. It will be very straightforward, very simple. Lawsuits will be reduced because lawsuits waste time and money of the businessmen and the other taxpayers. So this is a change reduction in the sections and schedules. Next, TDS and TCS. Tax deducted as source and tax collected as source will now be applicable in all types of income with a reduction in rate. So TCS and TDS will be applicable to all types of income with some reduction in the rates. But TDS will be having a wider or more expanded scope. Anyway, these are also a change. Exemption and deductions. In India, this is a very important point. I have just now also said about the exceptions and deductions. It's a very, it'll be surprised to know that in India, around 2.2% of the adult population are income taxpayers. Can you imagine? As per 22-23 survey, 22-23 survey, only 2.2% of the adult population of India pay income tax. But the same percentage in France, 78.3%, in USA, 50.1%, in Germany, it is 61.3%, in UK, 59.7%. See, these percentages can be, if you check, there may be little change, maybe there, I've taken it from internet. But, just see this, only 2% or little more than 2% people are paying tax and other people are enjoying. So the tax burden is more on few people. So whenever something, many people may think that this is coming, DTC will be having more tax burden on the taxpayers. But to think from these statistics, when only 2% people are paying income tax and 98% of the people are enjoying, think the situation. So the government wants to reduce the complexities and increase the taxpayers, so that government wants to increase approximately 7.5% of the population will be paying tax. So the government wants that there should not be too much tax on too few people. Government wants there will be too much tax from too many people. Government wants to spread the taxation burden all over the more people. You can see is logical or not, is good or bad. I understand. Whatever I understand is good, because more people should be paying tax, and now less people are paying tax and more people are enjoying the tax without paying anything. This is injustice. So let there be more people coming to the under tax burden tax orbit. So when complexities are removed, when the systems are simplified, then DTC 2025 will be covering more taxpayers than Income Tax Act 1961. Yes, political parties. There's one more point. Earlier also political parties were having some exemption, and this will remain unchanged. Despite these changes, one thing is that remains unchanged is that tax exemption on the political party income. So whatever comment you can make, there's a different issue altogether. I'm telling about the fact that political parties will again remain exempted from the taxation system. So whatever point, dear friends, I'm sharing here, if you find any point illogical, if you find any point I could not make clear, if you find any point which I've said wrong, then please make comment in the comment section, in the comment box, and please let me get corrected. I'll be reading your comments, and I'll even rectify myself if there is anything which I have not said correct. I've studied, I've researched these things. There's a very new, amendment is coming, new, major changes is coming in the tax regime of the country. So whatever information I've collected, I'm sharing with you. Corporate tax rates. The tax rates for domestic and foreign corporate companies will be aligned, eliminating the differences in corporate tax rate that currently exist. There are a lot of differences between corporate tax rate between different categories of companies, and in the DTC 2025, this tax rates, the differences will be, eliminated, minimized. So it may be good, I think. Benefits for salaries employees. This is very important. Salaries people always complain that it is long-standing grievance of the salary people that who often feel that they bear disproportionate share of the tax burden. Yes, of course, salary people feel that. It is the fact also that salary people cannot escape tax, and they are the people who belong to 2.2% of the population who pay the tax and major tax. So there was a complaint from the salary people that there is a disproportionate share of tax burden. Under DTC 2025, salaried employees can expect a significant reduction in their tax burden. So it's good news for the salaried people. And next, so this is what I have collected, what I have studied. Dear friends, hope you'll be benefited by this presentation. And any comment you please make in the comment section, and please subscribe the channel, because now onwards I'll be making more videos on DTC as and when required. And when it will be coming in 2025, I'll be making, when it will be practically enforced, then definitely I'll be making more videos based on the fact. But these are as per the, as per the declaration made by the Honorable Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharamanji on 21st August. And thank you very much. Namaste. Jai Hind. Thank you very much.